There's an amazing story about a young guy, and what he did was he ended up, unfortunately, walking out of the religion, heaven forbid, and he was on his way to marry a non-Jewish girl. And what happened was, listen to this, crazy. What happened was, he got engaged. His uncle was fuming. His parents were going crazy. You got to marry a Jewish girl. What are you doing? You have to marry a Jewish girl. Like, what's going on? To no avail. Time and time passed. Time and time passed. Time and time passed. Time and time passed. Now the wedding is coming up, and it was basically the last Shabbat before his wedding. His uncle tells him, I'm going to shul now for mincha. I know you don't even keep Shabbat, but it's the last week before you get married. Do you think maybe we can make an exception to the rule and you come with me to shul? There's a rabbi that's giving a class now. He says, no, I'm good. By the way, who's the rabbi that's giving the class? So his name is Rabbi Steinman. Rabbi Leib Steinman. Says, for him I'll go. For him I'll go to his class. He goes to the class. He sees the rabbi. The rabbi sees him. They talk. And he says, he's going to marry a non-Jew, and he really has to marry a Jewish girl. And he says to him, let me ask you, it seems that I'm hearing as well that you don't keep Shabbat. He says, when did you start keeping Shabbat? He says, about 2 years I haven't been. 2 years. But before, when you were starting to desecrate the Shabbat, he says, yeah, I felt bad. I felt very bad. I said, wow. So he did tshuva. He says, I had thoughts of tshuva. He says, oh, wow. At least he had thoughts of tshuva. Wow. And they walked back. And he made him feel like, wow, at least you did thoughts of tshuva. You did something good, thinking that maybe I shouldn't. At least that you had. He says, you know what, let me think more about this wedding. His uncle says, why did you come when I told you you were a Steinman? Why? And if it was a different rabbi, you wouldn't have come? He says, because, I'll tell you why. Rabbi Steinman, this rabbi that you said, came when I was a young boy in 3rd grade to the yeshiva to test us in our learning. And he went around the room and he said, I have a bag of candies. If you get it right, you get a candy. And he asked everybody, this guy, that guy, and they were all getting candies. He came to me and he says, the question, I didn't know the answer. He says, an easier question, I didn't know the answer. He says, even an easier question, I didn't know the answer. He didn't get a candy. When class was over and everybody was leaving, the rabbi told that little boy, told that 3rd grader, I have to speak to you after class. Everybody left, he was there, and he pulls out 3 candies. He says, I'm giving you 3 candies, not 1. He says, why? He said, because you tried. It was the effort. You put in effort. By us, you have to understand, you want to learn Torah, you try your best. I can see that you're trying your best. It just was hard for you. But you tried your very, very best, and you still couldn't, I'm still going to give you. That made him feel so good. Because a person, you have to understand, every effort that we do in serving Hashem and doing whatever does Hashem, even that is a great thing in Shamayim. There's a very famous story of what? The Gaon Mevilna's wife. The Gaon Mevilna's wife went around to collect money for tzedakah. And what happened was, she went with a friend. And they made a pact. Whoever's going to pass away first comes to them in a dream and tells them what happens in Gan Eden and what's the reward in Gan Eden for this. And the Gaon Mevilna's friend's wife died first. The Gaon Mevilna's wife's friend passed away first. She came to her in a dream and she says, you should just know, in Shamayim I can't tell you what happens in Gan Eden. But one thing I'll tell you. You remember that one day we were walking and we saw a wealthy person and we said, oh, there's the... And we were so excited. Maybe we could get some charity tzedakah from him so we could help out the people. He says, even just the excitement and the point that we did, that effort, we're getting great reward. That's just the effort. Imagine when you actually finish the mitzvah, how much reward that a person gets. This is a great lesson that we have to understand. We have to do our very best. And sometimes, when a person does his very best, you'll say to yourself, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. What's going to be? That's, you have to worry about. Tell people. Tell you a true story. There was a lady. She's calling you up. She said, Rabbi, I'm pregnant, and I want to abort the child. I want to do abortion on the child. I said, what are you, crazy? I said, you're not allowed. Al pi halacha. I remember it was 3 hours straight. And I was going my full energy. She ended up the phone call saying, Rabbi, I agree, I'm keeping the baby. What happens? I find out 2 weeks later, she didn't listen to me. I was shocked. I said, I did everything in my power. I even convinced her. I told her. She said yes. She agreed and she was happy to keep. What's going on? Fast forward a year later. A different lady texts me, Rabbi, there's a doctor. He told me that according to the Jewish law, I'm allowed to abort my baby. Is that true? I said, absolutely not. She says, wow. Thank you, Rabbi. It's good that I asked you because my appointment is next week and I was going to do it. I just want to double check with the rabbi. That's why you're the family's rabbi. That's what she says to me. I said, wow, you thought your effort went for nothing. It's not true. Your effort went for something. If not here, then a different place. How many times we have people, you want to try to bring somebody close to religion. You want to try to bring something close to be religious. So what do? Come on, come pray, come learn. You go all out of your way. You try to bring the guy. You pick him up. You did it for a whole year. And you tried and you tried and you tried. And nothing succeeded. All of a sudden the guy went and he moved out of town. He's in who knows where. Oh man. Every inch of effort you will be rewarded for. It's not the end goal necessarily. It's the effort that you put to the end goal. Yes, to finish and complete mitzvah, it's amazing. And you should. But don't let anything make you feel down if you didn't actually complete it. Because every step of the way counts. And if your effort didn't go in here, she'll make it go in somewhere else. It's a very important lesson we're learning about the Torah.